Taking a look here at a social media post courtesy of the Associated Press, they say that DNA is recovered from a glove found near Nancy Guthrie's home that appears to match a glove worn by the suspect in a video. That's according to the FBI. We're going to be joined now by Fox 10's Irene Snyder. She is live down in Tucson, Arizona, with more details. Irene, what do we know as we head into another week of this search?
Well, investigators are still searching for possible leads, and so far there is no sign of Nancy Guthrie or any suspect. They've been looking through thousands of tips ever since that surveillance video came through over the last week. But right now, one of their biggest clues and possibly the key to the case is that black glove. We've been seeing that circulating over social media. So many people posting about it and possible DNA evidence. So that black glove was found just about 2 miles from Nancy Guthrie's home. That's here in the Catalina foothills, just outside of Tucson. And the FBI says the glove appears to match the glove worn by the suspect in the doorbell surveillance video. It was sent off for DNA testing. The FBI has received initial results, and right now they're waiting on official confirmation before putting the unknown male profile into CODIS. That's the FBI managed database that enables labs to compare DNA profiles electronically. The FBI saying the process typically takes 24 hours from when the Bureau receives the DNA. A former FBI agent telling Fox 10 there's also resources that can expand the DNA search to family members. So even if the suspect isn't in the system, it could lead investigators still to them, or at least to a name. Now, Nancy Guthrie's daughter is, of course, Today Show host Vanna Guthrie. She's posted several times on social media, sometimes with her siblings, very emotional, pleading, asking the public for help. And in her latest video posted on Instagram just yesterday, she is saying that the family is still holding out on hope that Nancy, their mom, will be returned to them.
To whoever has her or knows where she is, that it's never too late. And you're not lost or alone. And it is never too late to do the right thing.
County Sheriff's Department also confirming someone's DNA was found on Nancy Guthrie's property. The DNA did not belong to Nancy or someone in close contact with her. So the reward for Nancy Guthrie's safe return or information leading to an arrest has doubled from originally it was $50,000, now up to $100,000. So really a lot of questions here this morning as far as the Sheriff's Department and the FBI. We don't know anything about any more press conferences. The last we heard, there was one 2 Thursdays ago, I believe it was at this point, and they said they're not going to have another press conference until there is more information to share. We'll send it back to you for now.
Now, Irene, before I let you go, I do see that behind you there is a law enforcement vehicle. Tell me, what is the presence like at this moment? Do we expect more investigators and more searchers to filter in throughout the day, and what's it looking like?
Well, as far as here at the home, I've been here over the past several days, I think almost 10 times over the last couple of weeks. And the Sheriff's Department has been out here at least for the last week now. So this officer, at least one officer, has been out here from the Sheriff's Department every single day that we've been here. They've changed out officers, obviously. But I think part of it is there's a lot of media here. Last week we saw, I think it went viral on social media, a pizza delivery driver going up to the home. They're just making sure that the home is safe for the family's sake as well. And no one's going up there tampering with any evidence so that, the area can be secure.
All right, Irene Snyder with our team at Fox 10 in Phoenix. Thanks so much for your time as we continue to follow this story. We'll check in with you later. Let's talk a little bit more about the developments that we have there. So Irene, she did mention in her report that, of course, a glove was found nearby Nancy Guthrie's home. DNA has been found. It has been tested, and investigators believe that DNA does belong to a suspect that they're still searching for. No suspect or person of interest has been named as of yet. And as Irene just mentioned, we haven't had a press conference from the Pima County Sheriff's Department or other investigators in about almost 2 weeks' time. Now, they they said they were not going to do a press conference until they had more information to share or something more concrete. We've also heard that several departments, not just the Sheriff's Department, but also FBI offices, they have continued to receive tips from the public, tens of thousands of tips that they are still combing through to see where they lead them. And then the latest being from Nancy Guthrie, who did issue that recent video on her Instagram page. Taking a look here at a social media post courtesy of Fox News, where they also show a screen capture of the video. It says Nancy Guthrie releases new video of missing mom, where she says, quote, "I wanted to say to whoever has her or knows where she is that it's never too late and you are not lost or alone. It is never too late to do the right thing, and we are here and we believe in the essential goodness of every human being." We also have live images just outside of Nancy Guthrie's home as several media outlets, not just the team at Fox 10 in Phoenix, but also nationally, they are covering the story, following it very closely. So you can see here the media presence does continue. As we wait for any break in the case, you can be sure to stay with us here at LiveNOW from Fox. All of those details we will provide for you as soon as we get them. In the meantime, though, we are going to step away for another quick commercial break. More of your top stories when we come back. Time right now is 8:52 on the East Coast, 5:52 over on the West Coast. Thanks for staying with us here at LiveNOW from Fox on this Monday. My name is Karal Lahara. Let's continue on with some more of what we're expecting later on today. A couple of live events that we have our eye on, as we are also following the fact that it is day 3 of that partial government shutdown. We're taking a live look here at the Capitol building over in Washington, D.C. On the left-hand side of your screen, you can see some of those priority events that we do plan to air for you, barring any breaking news developments. At 9 a.m. Eastern time, so in less than 10 minutes from now, we are supposed to get a live look inside of the courtroom as opening statements are going to begin today for the father who is on trial for his son who is accused of a school shooting at Appalachian High School in Georgia. Now, that shooting happened back in 2024. Colin Gray is the father who now is going to be on trial because of his son's actions. 11:30 a.m. Eastern Time, we're going to have U.S. Senator Lindsey Graham of South Carolina. He's going to be holding a press conference as he visits Israel. And then at noon today, the United Nations is also going to host their daily briefing just to provide some updates ahead of those talks between U.S. and Iranian officials, those nuclear talks that are starting tomorrow in Geneva. So let's head back to some more of the events that we had from over this weekend while we wait for these live events to get underway. And turning now to developments happening internationally. As we talk about those negotiations between U.S. and Iranian officials, I also want to talk about the fact that President Trump has announced that he will be convening a meeting of members from his Board of Peace. Taking a look here at a social media post that the president posted via Truth Social, saying this, quote, "The Board of Peace has unlimited potential. Last October, I released a plan for the permanent end to the conflict in Gaza, and our vision was unanimously adopted by the United Nations Security Council. Shortly thereafter, we facilitated humanitarian aid at record speed and secured the release of every living and deceased hostage. Just last month, 24 distinguished founding members joined me in Davos, Switzerland, to celebrate its official formation and present a bold vision for the civilians in Gaza, and then ultimately far beyond Gaza, world peace. On February 19th, 2026, I will again be joined by Board of Peace members at the Donald J. Trump Institute of Peace in Washington, D.C., where we will announce that member states have pledged more than $5 billion toward the Gaza humanitarian and reconstruction efforts and have committed thousands of personnel to the International Stabilization Force and local police to maintain security and peace for Gazans. Very importantly, Hamas must uphold its commitment to full and immediate demilitarization. The Board of Peace will prove to be the most consequential international body in history, and it is my honor to serve as its chairman." Over the weekend, just yesterday, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu also talked about the situation between Israel and Hamas and what's happening in terms of developments in Gaza. He spoke at a conference of Jewish leaders. In case you missed it, I do want to play out some of those remarks next.
Thank you. Thank you, Betsy, William, Malcolm, the Eternal. Well, it's that time of the year again, and we meet here annually, and things obviously change, and mostly for the better, but we still have challenges. I just came back from the United States for a very important meeting with President Trump. Obviously, the focus was on Iran. The president is determined to exhaust the possibilities of achieving a deal which he believes can be achieved because of the circumstances that have been created, the force projection, and the fact that, as he says, Iran must surely understand that they missed out last time, and he thinks there's a serious probability that they won't miss out this time. I will not hide from you that I expressed my skepticism of any deal with Iran because, frankly, Iran is reliable on one thing. They lie. And they cheat. But I said that if a deal is to be reached, it should have several components that we believe are important not only for the security of Israel, but for the security of the world. The United States, the region, the world. The first is that all enriched material has to leave Iran. The second is that there shall be no enrichment capability, not stopping the enrichment process, but dismantle the equipment and the infrastructure that allows you to enrich in the first place. And the third is to deal also with the questions of ballistic missiles. There's an MTCR limitation of 300 kilometers, and Iran is supposed to adhere to it. Of course it doesn't, as the Rising Lion operation by itself manifested. Everybody knows that. And the fourth is dismantle the axis of terror that Iran has built. It's been smashed, but it's still there. It's trying to recover, as Iran itself is trying to do. And the last thing is, remember Ronald Reagan's dictum vis-a-vis the Soviet Union? Trust but verify. Distrust, distrust, and always verify. So there has to be real inspections, substantive inspections, no lead time inspections, but effective inspections for all of the above. These are the elements that we believe are important for the achievement of the deal, and I presented our position very clearly. We also spoke about Gaza. I think we set out when we went to, after we were massacred on October 7th, we set out 3 goals vis-a-vis Gaza. The first one was to return all the hostages. The second was to disarm or dismantle Hamas's military capabilities. And the third is to dismantle Hamas's governing capabilities. The first has been achieved with the help of the United States and, first of all, with the help of our brave soldiers, incomparably courageous. The support that we got from President Trump and his team, the support we got from you and so many around the world, and the decisions that we made not to cower and not to submit to the pressures that were put on us from outside and from inside. We stood our ground. We got every single one of these people out, including the last hero, Ronnie Guthrie, an incredible hero. But there are so many others. We stood our ground there. We also stand our ground on the other 2 things that have to happen. Under President Trump's 20-point plan, when we move to phase B, what has to happen is that Hamas must first be disarmed, and then Gaza must be demilitarized. Disarmed means that it must give up its weapons, not main weapons. And what are the main? People said heavy weapons. There are practically no heavy weapons in Gaza. There's no artillery, there are no tanks. There's nothing. The heavy weapon, the one that does the most damage, is called an AK-47. Okay? That's it. That's how they execute people. That's how they shoot our people. That's what they use. Assault rifles. That's what they used in the massacre of October 7th. That's what they used. That's what they did the worst massacre of the Jewish people since the Holocaust with AK-47.